Hi, it's Justin Paperny, and you might be wondering why with RDAP Monday I'm opening up with an ethics site. This is an ethics site that I'm launching to branch off my speaking career. I consult primarily full-time, though I do about 12 to 15 corporate events a year. I'm going to be traveling to Chicago, probably New York in the coming weeks, and it was just easier to break out the speaking from my speaking clients and programs from Attica and white collar advice. And this site is not yet done, but it's thinking of ethics. And it relates to you because to succeed through RDAP in prison, you need to be ethical and identify values. As boring as that might sound, indeed, some guys in prison thought I was insane for reading ethics books all day, and I recognize it might be ironic that I became ethical in prison, though I did, and I shared because I got some calls from the initial RDAP videos that I just posted, and in a string of 2 days, I got one call that said, "Hey, I really appreciate you telling me about some of the cons of the program, and everything you read online is just, do this to get the 18 months off, and you're really presenting both sides of it, and I really appreciate that, and I'm not sure it's for me for a myriad reasons, and one of them was the snitching, and I want to make clear, I'm not judging. This is simply a values play when it comes to the RDAP program, and I'm going to transition to my ethics book, the questions I pose at the end of chapter 2, page 32. Identify the 5 highest values of your life in ascending order. So when this one gentleman called and we were reviewing the pros and cons of RDAP, afterwards he said, it's not a value play for me. I'd be uncomfortable discussing and talking about, somebody else. I might like more time for reflection, and I'm not really sure I need the program. And yes, I might serve longer in prison because of it, but it's best for me. And we weighed them together, and at the end of that call, it was not best for him. We're going to work together to do prison preparations and I think some reputation management stuff. So it wasn't right for him. And then about 2 hours later, while I was driving down on the way to San Diego to see some clients, I got a call from a gentleman that said, "Hey, I saw the video to snitch or not to snitch. Will you judge me if I decide that I might have to get the time off?" And I reminded him, as I remind all of you, my job as your consultant or coach is to provide the pros and cons of everything that you do. And it's a values play. Number one, identify the 5 highest values of your life in ascending order. Having gone through this, I don't even need to ask you what your highest values are. The first 2 should be freedom and family, or family and freedom. And certainly I recognize you're in a better position to get to that highest value of freedom if you complete the substance abuse program. And if that requires that you might have to tattletale or snitch, as the cliche holds, that you might have to. I reminded him, and I remind all of you, that fortunately, because of the heavy consequences of breaking the rules in RDAP, some prisons there's very little violations, and that's a good thing. So you're never going to have this dilemma of, do I say something or do I not say something? So I share that with all of you because my goal is to present the pros and cons and help you prepare for whatever decision you choose. But your decision will be easier if you identify what your 5 highest values are. So that's my takeaway for RDAP Monday, lesson 3. Identify your 5 highest values. When I was fighting my case, what were my highest values? Denial, ignoring my family, sort of living in la la land, eating double cheeseburgers, running to In-N-Out Burger, throwing and chewing tobacco, and playing 36 holes of golf a day while my co-conspirator was cooperating, cutting a deal. I don't blame him. People have said to me, "Are you mad he cut a deal?" I'm like, nope. He knew what his highest values were: family and freedom. He did the right thing, and he did the right thing. He wanted to get home. I was the stupid one living in denial, saying I didn't have criminal intent, and on and on and on. So if you want to snitch per se, you might have to. That is your call. If it's not in your value system, that is your call. My job is to remind all of you that ethics matter. In fact, I've changed the Attica site. I'm going to pull up, well, this is an impromptu video. I'll pull it up let's just do it right now. On Attica, I have changed it to the top left. It no longer says Federal Prison Consultants. I'm getting on the record 11/29, January 21st, the day before my 41st birthday, my 41st birthday. It no longer says Federal Prison Consultants on the top left. It says Ethical Prison Consultants. Because in coming videos, I'm going to get more into the exploits and hustle that others use I occasionally get tired of this pop-up, and I have to do something about that. I'm getting tired of so many good, educated white-collar offenders getting exploited and taken advantage of by others who offer guarantees and cliches but have no program, no protocol, no structure, no references or referrals from clients or lawyers. Instead, they offer promises that do not exist. Let me close with this. When I was a broker at Bear Stearns, they encouraged us not to bash competitors, that it makes us look weak. Perhaps, maybe I look weak, but this isn't, me managing a couple of $100 million as a broker anymore. This is preparing people for an adventure, a journey that, if not prepared for, can be much harder and more difficult than it should be. It's not out to scare you, it's to excite you, to prepare, to take measurable steps to overcome the odds that await you. And I assure you, if this spoiled, privileged kid from Encino who had all the breaks can do it with the Department of Justice press releases and losing the licenses and losing friends and all the money and the embarrassment and shame and humiliation, if I can do it, I assure you, all of you can do it, but not without a plan and not without a strategy. So RDAP Monday, ethics, identify your values, pursue them, and I am now the ethical prison consultant, as sort of salesy. I don't know. I might have to change it. It's okay for now. I'm the ethical prison consultant. RDAP Monday, identify those values and pursue them. If you'd like my help, 818-424-2220. My last video before my 41st birthday. Thanks for your time. Work hard. Bye-bye.